Hello, everybody. Me again, and I am back for a second DNA reveal. This is going to be a segment of the advent of it because actually, I am still within 24 to 48 hours of making up my mind that I'm going to do the African Ancestry test now. So I just wanted to capture the actual ordering of it. Unlike I did with Ancestry, I started once I actually got the kit in the mail. And then I wanted to vibe about a couple of thoughts that I've been having about the two types of tests. So if you didn't already see my DNA reveal from the AncestryDNA Admixture test, you can find that on my YouTube channel. And then, as some of you know, especially if you are customers of AncestryDNA, they've done a couple of updates. I think that at the time I took my test, my first results were an update, little did I know. And I've gotten 2 updates since then. And the way that that happens, from what I understand, is that they are still collecting reference data, which is what changes where our percentages map onto, if you will. So it's an admixture test, a composite test about everything that is in you. And those percentages or regions may change as they continue to collect reference samples. On the other hand, the African Ancestry test is of 2 types. They either are testing mitochondrial DNA, which is inherited from one's mother, and one's mother inherited it from her mother, and then that mother inherited it from her mother, and so on, and that it's unchanged over time, is my understanding. Or you can do the Y chromosome test. Obviously, I don't have one of those, being a woman, but if you can get a male in your family, if you're not a male yourself, where they will test the Y chromosome, which is inherited from the father, which is inherited from the father, which is inherited from the father, and so on. So I understand that people have their preferences. I just would like to say that based on my personal experience, I'm very glad to have done the admixture test, as well as be intending to take this mitochondrial test. Reason being, without giving it all away, being an American, born on this soil in the 70s, and the history that African Americans have in this country, and not limited to this country, as a direct result of enslavement and the slave trade itself, it was, on one hand, it was materially surprising to me how robust my African ancestry still is after all of this time and all of those kinds of occurrences and all of these decades and generations and centuries. On the other hand, however, phenotypically, I'm not surprised at all, which is my driver for doing this. As I said in my original reveal video, boy, if I had $1 for every time somebody asked me either where am I from, or just started speaking to me in their native tongue, etc., and it's just increased the curiosity to find out for sure. So now I want to know which nation, which people. Well, it's not now that I want to know. It's now that I'm purposing that I'm going to do it now. I'm going to find out now. It's namely my paternal grandmother's line that I'm interested in. I truly believe that they are 100% African, which is rare from my understanding. I mean, I think I understand that the majority, I wish I knew the number, of African Americans have about 75% African ancestry and 25% European, just as a broad brush. So I truly have suspected that for a while. Like, I don't think my grandma has any European ancestry. So I want to know for sure. Again, without giving it away, I'll at least speak one of my paternal aunts with this newest update has 97% African ancestry. So I don't think it's that far-fetched to believe that her mother might have 100%. Now, this test, again, is not going to confirm any percentages. But again, that's my reason for interest in what kind of, what people does my maternal, I don't even know if I conjugated that correctly. My maternal grandmother descends from what people in the motherland? I want to know. I can't find that out by testing myself, but I can find that out by testing any of her direct descendants or any direct descendants of any of her daughters. So this is a capture just of my thoughts about why I'm glad about taking both tests, because I understand that African Ancestry kind of encourages people to take the mitochondrial test first, again, based on American history, the reality of it, comfortable or not comfortable, is that most of us descend from African women, but where our European ancestry lies is usually through male lineage. So if you choose to do the Y test first, seeking African ancestry, there's a possibility that you might not find any. That being said, I am confident because of my admixture results that if any of my relatives, or if we end up doing it again, pursue the Y chromosome test, that will still lead to African ancestry. So I just want to lay that out there, that for me, this admixture test might result in 2 lines of business with African ancestry as opposed to just one. If for me and my personal experience, it has been useful and valuable. And I did the other one maybe around 2018, I think. And it's 2020 now, early autumn. And I'm going to go for it. And I'm ready and I'm so excited.